Our News on Terror segment tonight. If this had happened in any other country, to any other people, you probably would have heard about it. We heard about the terror attack in London this week, yes? The attack in Paris? Yet when these same sort of attacks happen in Israel, when acts of terror are committed against the Jewish people, funded by those who seek to eliminate Israel from existing on this earth, the mainstream media is silent. Last Friday, Palestinian terrorists murdered Israeli border police officer Hadass Malka. After the murder, the Office of the Palestinian Authority issued a statement praising the killers and condemning the victim of the murder. With me now, former IDF soldier and former NYPD officer Mika Danzig. Mika, thanks for being here.
Thanks, of course, for having me, Liz.
This is such a tragic story. I mean, this is the second segment in a row that we're talking about a murder that could have been prevented here. The absolute most horrible part of this, besides the fact that this young woman, this beautiful young woman, lost her life in an instance where she shouldn't have even been attacked, the Palestinian Authority responded to this murder by calling the murder of the terrorists who killed this girl a war crime. They said it was a war crime. What do they expect when they send their people to kill innocent Israelis?
It's truly Orwellian. It's only something that can happen in the bizarro world of Palestinian Authority speak, where the terrorists are the heroes, of course, and the police officer who rushed to the threat of danger, right? I mean, how Hadass Malka died, this 23-year-old heroine, is that three terrorists, one who claimed to be an ISIS representative, the other who Hamas claimed, and the third who Mahmoud Abbas's Palestinian Authority Fatah party claimed, right? So all three of these terrorist groups claimed to have one of these terrorists involved in this horrible act. Two of them were opening fire on people near the Damascus Gate in Jerusalem, and Hadass Malka, being the brave police officer she was running to face the danger when the third terrorist stabbed her and killed her. And, you know, it's incredible that after that happened, of course, while she was being stabbed by this guy, other officers were running up and shot the guy stabbing her. And the Palestinian Authority condemns the shooting, and they, in their condemnation of it, do they call out to the UN to intervene in this, right? They just cite the fact that Israel, quote, killed 3 Palestinians after the Ramadan prayers.
Right. Nowhere else on Earth does the, I guess, the silencing of 3 terrorists as they're stabbing a police officer get called a war crime, except by the Palestinian Authority here. I do want to show this response. This is from Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Take a look at how he responded.
It seems that mendacity and brazen gal know no bounds. Of course, the Palestinian Authority is refusing to condemn the murder, and the same authority will now pay financial compensation to the murderers' families. I call on the countries of the world to condemn both the murder and those who praise it, and demand the immediate cessation of Palestinian Authority payments to the families of terrorists, something that only encourages terror.
Mika, the Palestinian Authority, I mean, you've called it pay to slay before.
That's right.
They pay terrorists. They pay stipends to the families of terrorists who die killing Israelis, and they want to be accepted. They want to be accepted as a part of the governing body of our world. They pay their people to kill Israelis. I mean, I don't even know what to say.
And the mendacity, as Bibi Netanyahu said, continues, because not only are the slayers and the terrorists who tried to kill others at the Damascus Gate, their families are not going to get a stipend for life from the Palestinian Authority, by the way, through our tax dollars and the Europeans' tax dollars. But the mother of the man who killed, calling him a man is not really good enough, the monster who killed Hadass Malka, she was interviewed, and you have it right there on the screen. She was interviewed and said she only wishes her son could have killed 20, 40, 100 Israelis, right? The fact that he only killed 1 is not enough for her, and she's proud of him. Why? Because she's been raised in this sick, depraved culture that the Palestinian Authority has inculcated, where they praise murderers, where they praise terrorists, where they put jihad and the killing of Jews above everything else. Of course she said that, and of course her son grew up to be a terrorist murderer who could stab a 23-year-old girl as easy as you and I eat a cheeseburger.
Right, and I think that's what they call brainwashing. Brainwashing done by propaganda that's funded not only by the Palestinian Authority, but indirectly via our tax dollars. Mika, I do want to go back to something that you said. When we were talking about pay to slay and how much money the Palestinian Authority gives to the families of terrorists who kill Israelis, how much money do they spend on that every year? I mean, what's their budget for that?
It's approximately $300 million a year. Over the last 4 years, the Israeli government has calculated through its forensic accounting that the Palestinians have spent $1.1 billion of U.S. and European taxpayer dollars on pay to slay. And that does not count all the money they spend on teaching about terrorism, on teaching people that terrorism against Jews is the greatest thing you can accomplish. All one has to do is look up on Palestinian Media Watch and get all the information on how the Palestinian Authority, how much money they invest in teaching people revisionist history, teaching people that killing Jews is the greatest thing they can do, and teaching people hateful anti-Semitic literature, the kind of stuff that was taught under the Nazis in 1930s Germany.
Right, it's horrifying, and I want to draw this direct comparison, though. I know we've talked about it before, but I want to draw this again because it's particularly pertinent today. So if they spend $300 million a year on this, how much money does the United States, just the United States, not the United States and Europe, just the United States, how much money do we give to the Palestinian Authority every year?
Every year it's about between $280 and $340 million directly to the Palestinian Authority. There's indirect money that we give to organizations like UNRWA that also end up going through craft and corruption into the Palestinians' pockets. But that's the direct money.
But directly, we give them the same amount of money that they give to the families of terrorists who kill innocent Israelis.
And to the terrorists themselves.
I know that they're going to argue that it's not direct, but look up the word fungible in the dictionary.
Exactly.
The more money we give to them, even if they don't use those particular dollar bills to give to the terrorists, it frees up money for them to pay off. It's absolutely horrible.